This is the first RC boat that I own, guys, and this thing really drives awesome. Yes, I already took it out in the water and this thing is truly amazing. But you know, let me show you what's inside the box. Full throttle. Ease it in, here it goes. Oh yes. Oh, into the rocks, let's recover that. And here it is, guys. What do you think of it? Well, I think that this thing really looks amazing. So one special feature about this boat is the propeller. So this one doesn't have got a normal propeller, but this one has got a jet propeller. And this thing is awesome. So you've got instant throttle. So normally with a normal propeller, when you throttle up, you know, it takes a little while before it's up to speed. But this one is instant speed. Another thing, when I try to flip it over when cornering, you know, this thing won't flip over. Well, eventually I managed to do so, but that's because a boat passes and then there were some big waves and this thing just went under the water and I lost it for a couple of seconds, and when it resurfaces it again, it was upside down. And this one doesn't have got a self-righting feature, so I had to swim towards the boat. But you know, this thing is very stable, and yeah, if you have got some flatter waters, you know, then this thing won't tip over for sure. So let's have a closer look what came inside the box. So obviously we've got an awesome boat. We've got a little boat tent sitting right over there. We've got a transmitter. We've got a 3S lithium-ion 2000 milliampere pack. But you know, I would like to have seen that this one will came with a LiPo instead of a lithium-ion, but it is what it is. We've got a charger, some stickers, some instructions and some tools. But let's have a closer look at the transmitter now. The transmitter runs on 4 AA's, which you need to supply of your own. So one thing what is pretty annoying, there was a little screw sitting right over there. So yeah, you have to undo that if you want to change the batteries. But I just left it out because, you know, it clicks inside there, so it's all fine. So the build quality feels very sturdy. It's capable of one steering. So the steering wheel's all plastic. I would like to have seen a foam wheel around there, but it is what it is. We've got an off switch sitting right over there. So these two buttons do none. So nothing. So we've got the steering dual rate, we've got the steering trim and the throttle dual rate, and that's all to say about it. But you know, let's have a closer look at the boat now. The build quality feels very sturdy and I really like it. So I crashed it onto the rocks a couple of times and you know, we've got some scrapes all around the boat, but it's still in one piece. So the propeller or the inner propeller is well protected. We've got a little mesh sitting right over there. But if you sucked in some plants, for example, you know, we've got a little screw sitting right over there. Just undo that, then you can clear everything and then you can take it back to the water again. So the build quality feels very sturdy. So we've got two hatches. So this one is the top one. So when you remove this one, we enter the second one. So we've got 4 clips and this really prevents water getting in there. But if water gets inside the boat, we've got a little rubber cap sitting right over there. Just remove this one and then you can drip out all the water. So I really like that feature. But underneath here, you know, underneath the latch, you will find all the magic. Just look at this, guys. We've got a brushless motor sitting right over there. We've got a 20 amp 2-in-1 receiver ESC combination, and this one is water cooled as well, and I really like that. So we've got a micro servo sitting right over there for the steering, and it is a 3-wire servo, and that's always a good thing. So we've got the battery tray sitting right over there, and we've got the T-plug sitting right over there. So you know, the build quality until now really is durable in my opinion. So one thing you should know about jet boats. So you only can steer when you have throttle. So when you let go of the throttle, it doesn't steer anymore. So you really have to get used to that feature. Another thing, you don't have got any reverse. So when you hit something, you know, you cannot reverse the boat. So yeah, you have to get used to that. Obviously, I've driven some boats before, but you know, but this one is my first boat that I own, and this is the first jet boat that I have driven. So yeah, I really had to get used to it, and therefore I crashed it a couple of times onto the rocks. But you know, the build quality is all fine, and you know, I really like the boat so far. But you know, let's go to the driving part. So guys, we're outside at the lake with a beautiful boat and a beautiful surrounding, as you can see. So let's see how this boat drives. So we've got a little bit of water and the wind has dropped a little bit, but still we've got some little chops over there. But let's see how this boat performs. So let's see if everything works. Steering works, throttle works. So here we go. Into the water on the first test drive, and you know, let's floor it straight away. Here we go. Wow. This thing is rapid. I didn't expect this. So this is a jet boat, so that means it sucks water from the bottom of the boat and it propels it towards the back side of the boat, and therefore it needs to have water, otherwise it doesn't work. Another thing, when you let go of the throttle and you try to steer, nothing happens. So you always have to be under throttle, otherwise it doesn't steer at all. But let's see how this thing goes. Wow, this thing is pretty fun. Full throttle. Ease it in, here it goes. Oh yes. Oh, into the rocks, let's recover that. So we hit a little bit of rocks over here, but you know, this is pretty soft rock, so there's no damage at all. Maybe a little bit of scraping, but that's it. So let's put it in the water and let's continue our drive. Here it goes. Oh yes, it quicks on a dime, do you see that? It's pretty fast as well, guys. Oh yes. Oh, forgot about the steering part. Almost hit the rocks again. Full throttle. Oh yes. Oh, did you see it spin? So this is a pretty lively boat. So one thing with those boats, let's see if this, so we've got no reverse at all, so I'm hitting reverse, but there isn't any. So that's maybe a bit of a downside. And another thing, when it's upside down, you know, it doesn't have a self-riding feature. So that's a bit annoying maybe, but let's see if we can tip it over anyway. And then I have to go into the water. And into the rocks again. Sorry guys, let's try that one more time. Let's push it back into the water. Full throttle. Oh. Okay, let's see if we can tumble it around. So full throttle. Wow, this boat is pretty stable. Oh, it's totally submerged. Did you see that? It disappeared. And here it is again. Yes. Oh yes. Let's try to tip it over again. No, it doesn't want to tip over. But when it does, you know, you have to get into the water to recover it, otherwise you will lose your boat. But here it is, guys, full throttle. Ooh, backwards. Oh yes, I am already loving this thing. Onto the rocks again. Yes, it's going backwards, throttle. Yes, recover that. Full throttle. Oh yes, I love this boat, guys. So this is my first RC boat that I own, and I think I made a pretty good choice with this thing. You know, we don't have got any props, so nothing can break on this boat. Well, obviously some things can, but until now, I really enjoy this thing. So guys, that was the driving with this boat, and what do I think of it? Well, I think you already know. So this thing really is amazing. So the jet boat, you know, we've got instant power, you know, it's very nimble, it's almost impossible to tip it over, but when it does you have to swim because it doesn't have got a self-riding feature, so maybe that's a bit of a downside. But overall, you know, the build quality, I really like it, the motor performed pretty well as well. You know, the steering servo held up quite nicely, I didn't have any problems, so I crashed it onto the rocks a couple of times, but it's still in one piece. So overall, I really like this boat. So some small improvements which I would like to see is a self-riding feature, a reverse function, and maybe a LiPo battery. Because you know, this is like the old technology and I really like LiPos because you've got more power and instant throttle as well. So yeah, that's some small things. But overall, for the money, this thing is truly amazing. So I'll put the link down below to this boat because this thing is on sale currently. And yeah, you can pick one up for, I think it's around 80 bucks or 70 bucks. I'm not sure anymore. But check out the link down below. Alright guys, that was it for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. If you've got any questions or suggestions, leave a comment below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.